The Lord gave me a prophetic dream of the Antichrist receiving a mortal gunshot wound to his head as a, you ready for this? As a false flag event. Yes, a false flag event. So the Lord showed me in a very tragic looking incident. It was a visit of President Barack Obama to a certain city, and that city was in the USA. I'm not going to name the city in this video. It's not important. It's more important to know the time that we're in. He suffered a so-called mortal gunshot wound to the head region. Now, in this dream, maybe a lot of you know, I am a nurse. I've been a nurse for more than 25 years. I've done every kind of nursing. I've done a lot of acute care. I've worked in the emergency room, so I know what it's like to triage someone who is in a trauma situation. So I can tell you as a nurse, in this dream, it was the strangest of things that was going on in this trauma event. In this dream, I was with the president. I was communicating with him, and it was as though he had no security detail at all. He was poorly guarded, and then suddenly I was standing over him, triaging a gunshot wound to his head-neck region. There was so much blood that it was difficult to determine where the injuries were. He was talking to me the entire time as though he knew everything ahead of time. He even had an artificial airway in his neck so that he could have rescue breaths given with ease. Okay, if you're a medical person, you'll be scratching your head about that. He was drowsy appearing, but he was cooperative. And he even showed me during the incident where to hook up the ambu bag. Like, he was pointing to his neck. He was pointing to his neck, and he's like indicating, no, this is where you're going to give me rescue breaths. And in the dream, I was taking his vital signs. I reached over to grab the blood pressure cuff, and I paused momentarily, kind of like, wow, this medical equipment looks really outdated. It looked like it was from a Hollywood set, friends. The blood pressure cuff, it wasn't even his size. You know, he's kind of he has skinny arms, and the blood pressure cuff that was available for me, it looked like it was for someone who was at least twice his size. And you need the proper size, proper fitting blood pressure cuff to get an accurate blood pressure. It was as though the entire incident was completely staged. One of my friends here, one of my friends in Dayton, he's a critical care physician. He was working with me on the president. He was sitting there doing the official documentation. And again, I was gathering his vital signs and such. And my goodness. Again, friends, Barack Obama, he knew that this incident was going to happen. And he was participating in his own emergency medical care the entire time. Friends, what does this dream tell you? It tells me that we are living in very precarious times. We are living in the days just prior to the coming of the Messiah. We have got to get our spiritual houses in order immediately and bring our loved ones to the Lord as well. Let the Lord bring healing from His wings of righteousness to your homes and be counted as a fruitful labor in the harvest fields. Now is not the time to be spiritually lazy, friends. One day we are all going to stand before the Son of God, and He's going to ask us some very poignant questions. He may ask you, what did you do with my gospel? What did you do with the time that I gave you? Hey, how did you love your spouse? Did you love them with the love of God? Did you spend your time praying for your enemies? Let us make the Lord's business the business of today, friends. All right. Well, until next time, shalom.